Hey guys, it's Katarina, and today I'm making a video on a comment that I just got over my little green book. I'm not sure if I've gone over it in too much detail, and that's what I'm going to be doing today, and how you guys can adopt it and use other methods that work best for you in terms of vocab. So follow along and be on the lookout for more videos. Those will be coming out pretty shortly. So yeah, thanks for watching. So the first thing is, what is this? This is my green vocabulary book. I basically put in words that I find frequently used across a variety of different medias as well as forms. So movies, TV shows, music, video games, and more recently I've been pulling from the dictionary and writing words that I've been seeing. This was the very early iteration of it. It's kind of messy. That's why I don't use this one anymore, and I've been trying to translate them into another book. But I'll get into the methods in just a second. So it is messy and it is super old, but basically what I did is I wrote down the words that I had found and wrote these little bubbles next to it. The little empty bubbles means that I haven't reviewed them actually. So I wrote these bubbles next to them to kind of go over the book and to prompt me to review the words. And the more bubbles, the better, because that means that I have recognized this word as the times that I go through them. So some of these ones I have filled in because each time I review, I'm able to recall. And obviously the words that aren't filled in are the ones that I need to work on. And so I typically sometimes write those in another book because those are the words that I, for some reason, have just been blanking on and haven't been able to actively recall them. So this one is a very messy iteration. It has all different forms, verbs, pronouns. It's very, very messy. I find it very anti-productive now. I've been actually making a newer version with very similar forms. So all of these are either the infinitive form of a verb or something else like that. I don't like having them all compiled in one anymore. I found it very beneficial for when I was just starting and needed help on bulk vocab memorization, because I could just carry this little book anywhere. I would carry it to work. I used to work a very early morning shift as a barista, and I would bring this with me and people would be like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh, this is my vocabulary book. Don't mind it. It's sanitary." I wouldn't be doing it during work. But I would do review as much as I could, and I would bring a pen with me. So I'd basically circle the ones, like I said before, that I was familiar with, and it was basically a way to keep myself accountable of reviewing the words that I needed help on. But Kat, why don't you just use like Memrise and other forms of vocabulary memorization? I did an app review of where I ranked all these language learning apps, and I think they're all really great. Some of them are better than others, but for me, I learned best tactilely through writing and just being able to see it. I wrote it down. I'm, creating something. It makes it a lot more engaging for me to learn and read and understand versus doing it and typing it. I've tried using Anki Deck. I found that one really useful for school and things like that. And for my Russian learning, I've been keeping it primarily for writing due to those reasons of me having to write it down. Additionally, I find myself on my phone way too much, and I've just wanted to separate my learning from my phone. Similar to the other videos I made, I start to associate them differently, and it starts to feel like a chore if I'm doing it on my phone because I do a lot of work stuff like emails and everything. So primarily writing and things like that are done Russian learning in the book. And it's also just really cool because I'm able to just flip through it, and it's super easy. My battery doesn't die. It's a book, and I can just transfer it anywhere I want. So that's the reason for the little book. So now I want to go into the pros and cons and then why it might be beneficial for you. The pros, obviously, you can take it anywhere. Like I said before in the other video as well, is writing down things are very helpful for memorization. So I find that very helpful. And being able to actively recall and write things down and kind of challenge yourself no matter where you are, for me was very helpful. So I really enjoyed doing that in the whole process. I decorated it, I added different fonts, I did different colors. Now everything has to be the same, unfortunately, but just being able to put effort into something that you're learning is really fun, and I find that I'm able to do that most with these physical books and these little things I get. It's also an excuse to spend money, so that's kind of in the cons list, but I just am able to compile it all in one. And if I eventually need to digitize it, it's easy. So I can just have that option available if I wanted to, but I just really like being able to view my work and see the results of it over time. Digitally, you can't really see the results and the change. You can click a button, you can do that, but I can kind of see the different pins that I used for different circles. And I think back, where was I? What was I doing when I was viewing this? So it's kind of like a vocab diary, if I can. So I just really enjoy it, and it's over time has brought me a lot of fun times learning vocabulary and just literally anything. Now the cons, like I said, it sometimes can be an excuse for me to buy more journals. I have way too many journals. I've actually been compiling them all together. I'll put in a little photo here. But yeah, they start to pile up in terms of space. That can be really bad. You can lose it. There goes all your vocab. But I carry this thing everywhere. I will never lose it. But another thing is, it's been ripping. It's been aging. And you know, if you spill water on it, because it's paper, it's gonna mess up. And you know, sometimes, like I said, if they're not all the same, like color and things like that, sometimes I will get upset and I will not study it. I'm not sure why that is, and if anyone else has that similar experience, write down a comment, because I hope it's not just me. But I can't think of any other cons. Let me know. Probably because this is just something that I do, so I'm so familiar with it. Another con, I guess, could be just purposely looking over the ones that I'm already struggling with. So a lot of these have circles because they're very obscure. So like coding, like I don't really use that word, so I haven't done it. But sometimes you can purposely neglect some of the vocab, but I feel like that can be in any form or fashion. So yeah, just not being able to do the intention of it. But I've also done highlighting as well, say do not skip over this one. And the reason why you should choose this method and try and adopt it into your studying routine is mainly because it's tactile and you can bring it everywhere, and it's a motivator to learn more things while you're doing other things. This is not a part of active listening. It's more of just being able to have something convenient so you can always pull it up, but it's not on your phone. So this is my new one. I've been transferring everything into here, and now I've been bringing this one to work when I'm on my break. So it's just very simple. I've kind of decided I'm gonna put the circles in the middle and try and adopt different forms of doing the bubble method. In another textbook, I put a line at the bottom, so it's kind of overall progress. I put a line if I've gone through it. There's different ways you can try and keep up with your progress and how you are familiar with the word. Like I said, Anki Deck has a really good progress calculator and things like that, but I really like the physical copy. You could do hearts, stars, post-it notes, reminders, sticky notes. There's lots of ways you can adapt to this and find different versions of it that are helpful for you and work best for you. So, but this is what works for me. I really enjoyed it for all the reasons I said before. I really want to find more ways of being able to keep myself accountable to review these vocabs, and also divide up the ones that are of different forms, because that is going to kind of go into the cons list, is why I didn't divide up the words before. Like I said in a previous video, is mixing up different forms of grammatical words. They're the same word, but in a different form. I want to be able to recognize that rather than put them all in the same book, because if I'm learning it as a sole vocabulary word, I'm going to completely glaze over the fact that there's a case attached to it, and I need to understand that too. So I'm going to be working on a grammar book as well in terms of this kind of structure, but I've been super busy with school and work, so that will have to come out later. But let me know if you have any similar ideas or what you do best for your vocabulary or any way you learn. I enjoyed making this video. I appreciate the comments, and I'm working on those other suggestions that were suggested as well. So I just want to say thank you for watching and have a great day.